if I write out, now listen, I'll tell you what I'm planning to do. I'm planning to do one kind of level, and then I'm going to do one circle. The best examples of how I can teach it to you. Now, I just gave you guys the memo, but I'm going to teach you using one of, I think it was the girl or the boy's test, I can't remember. I want to teach how to do it, because obviously the problem, well, you can do as many past papers as you like, and you'll never get the same examples, but they start to repeat themselves. But the reason I'm doing this analytical geometry is I don't want in any way anyone to say I'm teaching to the test. I got this yesterday on Monday, the paper. When for geometry, I've seen for a matric a long time. The thing that's got cut off here is this meets here, and that's point K. They gave a lot of writing, but basically you can see there's your x-axis, there's your y-axis. They told us that the line from W to R, they tell us is parallel to the y-axis. They told us point P is the intercept of the straight line that goes from W to K. They told us M is the x-intercept of that line there. Theta, you can see, is sitting over here, but you can see that there is a beta angle of inclination from there to there. This point here is N. If I talk about any letters, I'll make sure you can see what the letters are. Okay, now you don't have the questions. I've got them. First of all, what was given? You've got to always read your given. Okay, they basically say ST has an equation of, they're giving it to me, has the equation of y equals a half x plus 6. So what I do, and I've always done this, if they give me an equation of a line in analytical geometry, I highlight that line. So I highlight it, and then I write somewhere on that line the equation, because otherwise you're going to forget that they gave you this equation. Right, so I've done my work there. Let's keep reading. What else was given? They give you point W. I don't know if you can see, that is W. The coordinate is -4, +4. It's been written there. There's a whole lot of straight lines. They keep talking about straight line, straight line. Point P, the coordinate, I don't know if you can see, point P, the coordinate there is 0 and -4, but point P is there. And if they say KS is produced, it just means that line is extended. It's a straight line graph. And they told me the WSR is theta. So that's what was given to me. And now, what are the questions? 3.1. They want the gradient of WP, 2 marks. Okay, WP. So in other words, let's just focus. They want me to give them the gradient of this line. This is level 1 because you've got both coordinates. So it couldn't be easier. So remember, just go M for gradient of WP. I would suggest just either write the formula or tear off the formula sheet at the end of the exam question paper so that you've got it there. And then it doesn't matter who you start with. So I'm going to go -4 over 0. But be careful when you're going minus. So we're going to get -8 over +4. So we're going to get -2. The mark allocation there. Now, for the next question, 3.2, they then said for 2 marks. Now, 2 marks is not a lot. show that WP is perpendicular to ST. Now, we've just got the gradient of WP, and if you look ST, they gave us the equation. So you know the gradient of ST equals to positive a half given, and thus you can say that the gradient of WP equals to -2, proven, and then just go, therefore, the gradient of ST times the gradient of WP equals -1, therefore WP is perpendicular. So that's how I normally set questions out. So now you know they're perpendicular, please put in your 90 degrees, because that might be needed for the next question or a question later. Are you all still there?
Hi, ma'am.
Yes,
Still
ma'am.
here,
Yes,
still watching.
Okay. Now listen, I'm going to, if you don't mind, just write the gradient of WP is -2. And can I just erase everything off now to give me more space?
Yes, sure, ma'am.
Or made a screenshot or whatever. Okay, cool. So if you didn't, then someone else would have just asked for it. Now, the next question, 3.3, they said if the equation of the line SK, let's quickly see who is SK. Give me a second. SK, okay, the SK, there's this. So they're giving me the equation of this line. They're going to say the equation, if the equation of that line is 5y plus 2x plus 60 equals to 0. They're going to say, will you please calculate the coordinates of S for 4 marks. Now, let's first get this equation into standard form. We want plus goes 1y equals to mx plus c. So do you agree 5y will equals -2x minus 60? Divide everything by the coefficient of the y. So y is going to be -2 over 5x minus 12. 5 12s are 60. So now make a note. That equation is y equals to -2 over 5x minus 12. Now they want the coordinate of S. What is happening? Well, we've got the equation of this line. We've got the equation of that line. Surely this is simultaneous equations. So now before we solve, do we all agree if that's the origin, x is going to be negative and y is going to be negative? So if you don't get that, you've made a careless error. So if you have the two equations, you just equate them. So I'm going to make the equation, this one is the nastier of the two, -2 over 5. Remember, the x is always in the numerator, minus 12. I'm going to equate that to what I colored there, the green line, which is a half. Remember, the x is in the numerator, plus 6. Now, you know my rule with fractions. Do not be scared of fractions. Just put any integer or constant without a denominator over a ghost 1. Look at all the denominators. The LCD is 10. You can drop the LCD in an equation. Now, 5 divided into 10 goes 2 times. So we'll times that by the numerator, minus. 1 into 10 goes 10 times. So we'll times that by the numerator. There's the minus. So I'll just put in 12. Okay? Then equals, I'm just going in one color. 2 into 10 goes 5. 5 times the numerator is x. Plus 1 into 10 goes 10. And you times in that by the numerator. Now, these are quite big numbers. So we're going to have -4x minus 120 equals 5x plus 60. Minus 4x, bring the plus 5x across, so it's minus 5x. That will equals, bring that across, so you're going to get positive 120 is 9x equals 180. So if you divide that through, you're going to get x is negative 20. Now, negative 20 it is. Now, to get the corresponding y, you need to sub that into either equation. They're both pretty horrible, but I think if I put it into this equation, the gradient is a half, replace x with the 20, and there's plus 6. So then I think you can see 2 divides there once, 2 divides there, 10. It's minus 20, remember, minus 20. So we're going to get minus 10 plus the 6, which means y is minus 4. Now, this is not drawn to scale, but I'm happy that x is negative, and I'm happy y is negative. Okay, so if they say determine the coordinate of s, you must put it in a bracket. Right, now it's in my diagram, there is s, so can I erase the board? Yes or no?
Yes,
Just give 1
ma'am.
second, ma'am. And just give 1 second, ma'am.
1 second, that's fine. Right, first. Okay, you all got it now? Can I raise? Any objections?
You can just take a screenshot.
Okay, take a screenshot quickly. Can I raise?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. That sounded like Nelly the elephant.
It's me. Yes, you're right. Oh my gosh.
Nelly, did I give you the elephant in the end? I can't remember.
No, you didn't. But it was my fault. I didn't come to the hole because I was busy.
You know what? I forgot. I don't even know if I still have it. Hold on. I'm just taking a 2-minute time out. Oh, Nelly the elephant, I found this. I colored it in, and I need to
Oh.
just give it to you. You can then put it in your pocket. It says, it's got to be wet. Good luck, Ellie. And there is your elephant. So
Okay,
I'll
ma'am.
try and get a hold of you sometime tomorrow and give it to you. Anyway, let's move on with this question. The next part of the question, 3.4. They said, can you please calculate the length of WR for 4 marks? Now, guys, where's W? There, right? Where's R? There. Now, listen carefully to what I'm going to say. When they ask you to calculate the length, it's not always distance formula. I'll give you an example. Do you agree? We know that from the x-axis, from there to there is 4 units. We know that that is 4 because the y-coordinate there is 4. The y-coordinate here, then I could just get the length. Now, I don't know the y-coordinate here, but if this line is parallel to the y-axis, then to agree the x-coordinate has to be the same as that x-coordinate, because that is on the x equals minus 4 line. Now, if you have one part of a coordinate that lies on a straight line, you can sub it in and get the y. So if you take that line that I've done in pink, and you say this is the line y equals to negative 2 over 5x minus 12. We know minus 4, we just don't know what y is, lies on this line sk. Then we put y there, but now we'll put the x value into x. Now, if you get a strange answer, I don't ever want you to panic, because with analytical geometry, it is actually very to get strange answers. I've told you that before. So if I go h divided by 5 minus 12, I'm going to get minus 52 over 5. Just for interest, as a decimal, y is going to be minus 10,40. So in other words, that is now minus 10,4. I'm going to tell my examiner that r is minus 4 and minus 10,4. Now remember, length is positive. So if I put you here, you are walking, we know y is 4 units there, and now you're coming down another 10,4 there. So if you add that up, the length from W to R is going to be minus 14,40 units. And notice I didn't even touch distance formula. So, you know, don't always be limited to distance formula. If you're looking at Y's and Y's, do you see what I'm saying? Okay, screenshot that so I can go on. I've got 2 questions left. Can I delete that, Nelly the elephant? Anyone?
Yes,
Does everyone agree I can delete that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm just making a note. I've written everything on the diagram, but I'm just making notes. Now, the next 2 questions, meant to be the hard ones, but let's laugh. Ha, ha, ha. No. Calculate theta. And this question is 5 marks. Now, if you are asked, and I've told you this before, to find theta or any angle that is not on the x-axis, so it's not angle of inclination, but you will find a triangle. Just look for the triangle. You want the one side to be on the x-axis. I will give you my plan. Now listen, the diagram sheet, read your instructions, is stated with me forever. So anything that side alpha, and this, you know what I'm saying? It's got to be on your diagram, not your question. And the to the find it. Okay, so if you make something alpha, you've got to put that in your diagram sheet. Please theta if that's theta, and please don't make that beta if that's beta. Think of this through. Do you agree? I've got, yes?
We've got 20 minutes left.
Okay, I'm nearly finished this. So I've got the gradient from S to M. If you, it's positive a half because they gave me that. Now I've made that a half equal destination. And on 26, 26 comma, it was 4. My profile, do you vertically opposite to that? So now you know that this angle here, which you put in your diagram, will also be 26, 5, whatever, right? Now, do you agree we've got the gradient of this line? Now it's a negative gradient. I've always told you that if your gradient's negative, if you make the gradient positive, that will equals to tan, but not of beta, of the acute angle on the other side. So you can make your negative gradient positive, so beta acute. And you must write beta acute in your diagram. Now, if you go shift tan, beta acute is approximately going to be 21,80. So if that's 21,80, then surely theta is the exterior angle of this triangle. If I've got my answer, I don't know if I even got it. Well, there's the answer. You just literally add that and then just go exterior angle, triangle, NMS. Okay? I'm sure you can all add that. The last question was the level 4 question. It was actually quite clever. And the level 4 question went like this. They said, 3.6, if L is a point in the 3rd quadrant, quadrant 1, 2, 3, 4. So L is somewhere here, all right? And they said such that SWRL is a parallelogram, is a path. The question calculate the area of the SWRL marks. Now, order to do this, you're going to vertice of a parallel, which I've taught you how to do. Where's S again? There's S. Where is W? W. There's R. Hell is R. There. R. Now L is somewhere. To make it look like a, I'm going to go parallel and parallel. And that L, the coordinate, but if it's a parallelogram, do this by inspection. I say because the opposite sides are equal. Now, use from there to there coordinate, but I have this coordinate. If this is where x is 20 and this is minus 4, from there to there, 16 units horizontally across. From this here, this is minus 4, comes 16 units. So minus 4, 16, you're going to get minus. Do you remember this is 20? Parallel to the y-axis. Now to get the y, here y is minus 4. On 4, so the vertical 8. So we need horrible coordinate, unfortunately, but we got it's down. Be minus 15, the coordinates of L. And the reason is because opposite sides equal. I won't even give the, but look here, this is 90 degrees. The formula of a parallelogram is the base perpendicular. Now, if this is 90, then from there is your perpendicular. So the perpendicular is W, which they asked me. And if you remember 14,4, and then base from S. So from you'd need to use formula, distance formula, got the two coordinates, and then you would end with you get for the letter. Even read that letter W, the length of SW perpendicular. That's going to give your answer units. That was the grade 11 for marks in this trick final. What is the level you can your exam and each other?
This exam.
How many minutes left?
Wait, why we?
Are always limited.
We've got 13 minutes, ma'am.
That's all I need. Say, oh, I remember. Okay, don't worry about teaching you how more. So, I teach you in the last 15 minutes how you approach. So it is so important. The say is in the given. They say P and P tangents circle at point A, B. Stop. Do is I always use yellow. So anything more, I haven't. I take highlighter and I draw two tangents because they told you can't. But now, if you've got two tangent points, you that angle there. Other way is A1, which equals to that there, which is B2 because of the same point. already made knowledge of what did they give me. They said M. Now guess what? This is in the world. You don't need anything. December or whoever. There's no red, no diameters. That actually I don't know. But now also red Ferrari, A equals BC. Use colors for the. They said A line there, which what equal line there, which is a. Now, if equal, you know equal chords of 10 angles at the circumference and center. Just literally go equals that equals sides. Radii is perfect. Every time they give a look at it, conclusion, there I go back to give it. What else? Another red Ferrari. BC is PQ, right? Ferraris, red. Red BC, this line here, B is parallel PQ. If you get parallel, I swear, either alter interior or corresponding, and all of the above. Before we ask the question, let's see if we have any. Oh, what do you notice? That angle, because we'll turn it. Now, a lot of you see this, but if you turn it around, just for you, this line red, so you have a chance to see it. You see this line here, green dot, this parallel line, then and this corresponding. It's very hard to see when it's flat. Right now, I've got a lot of because if I turn my pen, I haven't even read it, but I know equals to that angle equals. All right, I know this point equals to that. There's one more piece of it. They said the last piece, A2 is equal. Now, if that the first use is tan chord theory, because if the question is find only find 4, 5 equals to x. Some of you couldn't even find an extra one. So the thing is, how does the theorem works? Put your finger on where the tangent is, and that from there to there. It's not a chord, it's out from A to C. So you've got to go to the segment, the perimeter of a triangle, stop. Circumference. Stop inside the. Now that is brilliant, beautiful. Guess what? If there is x for theorem, right? So remember that. So the first B1 hat x. But where did it? Just tell them where it came. It came from A2. That is tan. Or you have to say. Then he worked out that was to that. So I've got my. So start with A1. You got it from B1. Y, should we opposite? It's either could have gone equal angles, but you right. Let's keep going. Oh, beautiful! It's perfect. If this angle has to equals here because of 2 points, and x and that is x, and what is the conclusion? 2. Anyone? Hello? Look, this is x. So that, so do you agree this x is from the same, that angle has to be the same. But you agree A1 plus 2, we know equals B2, that tangents say, therefore, if this is, that's x, do you understand? Therefore has x. The mark and there on that one. There and there. This is a statement and to, okay, can I carry on? Now, if here,
5 minutes, ma'am.
say again.
5 minutes.
Okay. Angle
This is
here
our-
is this, that's alternate. Yeah, P2 equals to B2 equals to X. Alternate, you go alternate, you must acknowledge the parallel line. You not mark. So if all of the above you stop, lost it. 1 mark. I have that's the 4th angle. The 5th angle is equals to this. And I've seen that. So let's start with the subject. Angle Q hat to B1 hat. That would be the angle ICB PQ. All right. Question. I've got enough. It said prove this figure ABP is a cyclic. But you see it's got both angles. Only 2 marks. It's 2 marks. Everyone turn your head. We've already we've already proved. So this equal angles on the, so P2 equals A1 X. And you'll, therefore AB is cyclic. Now if you are asked anything to use the converse angles same same. One last question, 1.5 minutes. Question set. Please prove the line. Now, this line here is a tangent. Circle going it's A, B, there, S, there. Draw your circle. If the circle's not pretty, you need to see the circle. You also need a plan. If this line is, then this would be a chord. And if I can prove this between the so-called tangent equals to A1, I've done it. So to get this angle to be, but we've already proved exactly what? This angle here equals a segment. So 3 equals 2, which is because you've proven it exactly what you just go and say. Then acknowledge that is going to equal A1 X, and then B a tangent to the circle BS, and then you put a tangent, so you have converse tan theorem. Okay, are we still there or being cut off?
Still here.
Still here.
Okay.
2
Now
minutes.
listen, I love that question because that question is really, it's like if you just read the given and use the colors and look for tan chord and know your work. This section is actually not hard at all. It's actually fun. And you must just try and see it as a problem to be solved, jigsaw puzzle, not as, oh my God, I hate circles. All right, so I just want to say my last thing, always make sure your calculator is in the right mode. Remember, shift equals AC. Read your instructions. You will enjoy the paper because I've taught you well. As long as you practice the stuff I have done and do not go to bed too late. You need to be fresh. So God bless. I love you all and good luck. Nelly, I need to give you your elephant.